Welcome back to Wise Man Company, everyone. Ben here, and today we're going to be talking about my fanny pack. If there's anything great the 90s has left us, it's the fanny pack. Made popular by Gap, most likely, and worn by dads, moms, weird uncles, all over the country for that decade. And they're making a comeback. My fanny pack is a prototype from Lunar Concepts, but there is a production version of it that's very similar, and that is over at ic13arms.us. It's called the Revolver Pack. It's very similar, it's not the same, so if you're looking for the exact fanny pack that you see today, there's a similar version over at ic13. A lot of companies making fanny packs now. Spiritus Systems, LBT, Hill People Gear. A lot of great fanny packs out there, different sizes, you do a variety of things. Mine fills two roles in my life. It's a dedicated medical bag that I stick in my everyday carry backpack that I can just grab and go with, so it's packed full of medical supplies, just rip it out of my bag, run to wherever I need to. I also use it when I'm not wearing a belt, i.e. wearing athletic shorts, swimsuit, house trousers. I don't know if house trousers are house suit. It's a way to carry my EDC if I don't have regular proper attire for the day, if I'm just lounging around. So it has filled that role as well. Mostly it has filled that medical grab and go bag role. We're gonna get into it right now, what's inside of it, and I'll show you how it kind of works in a couple of the setups. So let's jump down to the tabletop. All right, let's get down to it. As you can see, it's in multicam black. Great color, great pattern. Everyone loves multicam black. I'm gonna start with the smaller pouch first because this basically never changes, this smaller pouch. And essentially, it is my boo-boo kit. So it's got items in here that are just for everyday cuts and scrapes, comforts, that sort of thing. Chapstick. Here is a, these are steri strips. So if you get a cut or something like that, a big cut, instead of using stitches, you could use this. Not exactly a replacement for stitches, but it does work. This is one of those towelettes that when you get wet, it expands, and it's a lot bigger than what this is, right, as you see here. So if I need to wipe something down or I need to clean something up, these are awesome. They take up very little space, and again, you just wet them and they expand. Some Dramamine for motion sickness. In here, I have some aspirin, not Tylenol. I put actual aspirin in here. I don't use ibuprofen anymore. Long story. Some Band-Aids, your standard Band-Aids, and some big Band-Aids. And what else we got here? I think I have a smelling salt in here. Yep, smelling salt. And that's it for this little pocket. It does have loop on the inside, so if I wanted to add a little organization to it, I could, like some elastic loops or something like that. I didn't. I just pack in skinny items like the Band-Aids and Tylenol and chapstick. So this pocket right here never changes. Always stays the same, and I go to this quite frequently. I work outdoors, so you're always getting cuts, scrapes. I got kids as well, so This constantly is getting refreshed and used, but never change. The contents never change. Nice zipper on the outside, moves really easily. Like it a lot. You're gonna see a loop panel here, so you can put, if you wanted to put medical on here or some sort of sweet cool guy patch, you could. I just put the small Wiseman Company patch right here in the corner. Just lets me know it's mine. So yeah, you could label this with whatever you wanted. Moving to the back, this is a Milmac knives blade. It is the Flaco, which in Spanish, Flaco means skinny. And I keep this on the back here. Get it focused. I keep this on the back here just as a get off me blade. I do go running with this pack, or this fanny pack, a lot, so this is nice just to have at hand. No one ever really notices it with that handle sticking up. And it's so small, it's very comfortable. Sheath has great retention. This has been a great addition to the fanny pack. Just sits in the back here. I ran it through the molly loop, so if you wanted to molly this particular fanny pack to something, you could. I just use it as a fanny pack. But as you can see here, that's kind of how it rides and sits, right up against the body, easy to get to if I need it. While we're back here, let's look at the belt. This is one big perk of the fanny pack. It's easy to throw these things on. There's usually just a clip, and you can throw it around your waist, buckle it up, and you're good to go if you got it pre-sized. What I typically do is, again, I throw this in my EDC backpack. This strap is readily available. I can grab this, pull the whole thing out, and run with it if I need to. I do go jogging with this fanny pack a lot, and when I do that, I need to make sure that this is good and tight around my waist, so it's not bouncing around and jostling around on me. It'll wear on you if it's too loose, but if you snug it up, it's actually quite comfortable. Okay, let's move into the main compartment, and this thing is jam-packed, and I'll show you how it is the majority of the time. This is what you're about to see is how it typically stays. So let me get it to focus, as we look in there, we are going to see some Z-Pack dressing, which is actually quite big and thick, but folded over, it fits in there nicely. Sharpie, purple Sharpie, could be a black Sharpie, could be whatever, but if you're doing medical stuff, it's handy to have something to write with because you need to mark times or conditions, things like that. So Sharpie in there. Always keep a spare 17 round mag in there. Just another option if I need to grab an extra magazine or something. I know one is in this bag. I do keep a gun in here sometimes, and we'll get into that in a little bit. There needs to be some changes before I do that. But for the most part, I always keep a spare 17 round mag in here. Chest seal. Seal the box. So if someone gets plugged in the chest or torso, these are great to cover the entrance or exit wound, or both if you need to. Nose tube, pharyngeal nose tube. These are for airways. SWAT T tourniquet. I don't typically like using these as a tourniquet, but they are great for a pressure dressing. If you need to use them as a tourniquet, they work best on smaller limbs like kids or dogs. This one is in high-vis orange. It's never been opened. Some people get wrapped around the axle when they see high-vis orange or a different color, that's signifying it's only for training, but this isn't only for training. This is made to spec, so I can use it for real life. I just don't use it for training. So SWAT T, a lot of good applications. Tourniquet, not the best application, but it will work great as a pressure dressing. What we got in here? Real tourniquet, soft T tourniquet. These are one of my favorites. Probably not the best for self-application. If you need to put it on yourself, like your own leg or arm, great if you're putting it on somebody else because you typically have two hands available. And I keep two of those in here. This one is packed in a Swift T carrier from Lunar Concepts. I keep two tourniquets in here because most people have 4 limbs, and it's very possible to come across somebody that has an injury on 2 of the 4. So it's nice to have 2 tourniquets in here. They don't take up much space, they pack really nice and flat, so I got 2 in there. And then I have a quick clot sponge and some more gauze for packing, cut, scrapes, that sort of thing. So that's everything on the inside. A good bit of stuff. I mean, you can get a lot done with what I packed in there. At least a lot of your major trauma that you might come across in an active shooter or a car crash, something like that, they will hold a lot. With that being said, if I want a concealed carry in here, so here is a Glock 26, and this is what I usually stuff in here. If I conceal carry in here, I need to remove some of the items. So I can only carry one tourniquet. I got to remove some of the gauze. It just makes a little bit more room. I got to remove the spare magazine, and then I can carry it. So there's trade-offs. I very rarely am found without a firearm. So if I'm in swim trunks or athletic shorts or anything basically without a belt, I'll probably have a handgun in a fanny pack on me, and that just requires me to eliminate some of the extra medical supplies, unfortunately. The majority of the time in my life, though, I'll have a handgun on my body, and I can keep this fanny pack as you originally saw it, chocked full of medical supplies. My EDC handgun will ride comfortably right behind it, underneath it if I have to. Roll in some footage of that. I can still draw, get to it. If a handgun's on my belt and this is over top, it's not a problem. Just have to set it up for success. If I'm going to draw a handgun from inside of this fanny pack, it is not fast. It is slow. I'll roll in some clips here. It is not going to set any land speed records. Around 3 seconds is my draw time. Of course, I am chambering around when I'm pulling from it.
334.
If I had a small hole, like a trigger guard holster I could put on it, I would feel more comfortable chambering around. But since it's just slid in here in one of the pockets, I don't really have any protection over that trigger guard. So I don't chamber it, I pull it, and then I chamber. Again, it's not fast, it's not ideal, but it is better than nothing. So those are the two ways I typically run this fanny pack. And again, it's been great. It gives me options when typically without this I would have been SOL. I would not have had anything. So there's the contents. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Jump down there. I want to talk with you guys about it.
$374.
All right, guys, there's my fanny pack. Definitely making a fashion statement by throwing one of them on, or lack thereof, but it works. It gives me options. I can carry a lot more tools in the toolbox with a limited apparel on. Since I moved to warmer weather, I find myself using that a lot more. And honestly, no one really even notices when I'm wearing it. Everyone's eyesight is typically up here. They're looking straight ahead, or they're in their own little world when we're all out and about. So they're not really tuning into it. Maybe if you're more of a tactical guy, you might notice it and you might say, hey, that's cool. Or you might say, hey, that's dumb. But if you're a tactical guy and you notice it and pick up on it, you probably have the same mindset as me. I haven't really found any issues wearing it out in public, is what I'm getting at. So take it for what it is. Consider it. Again, there's a lot of great companies making fanny packs right now in all sorts of colors, shapes, sizes, and they definitely work. Again, they fill a specific role, and I'm kind of surprised I'm using one, honestly. I mean, it's year 2020, and I'm putting on a fanny pack. But it is 2020, and this year's been terrible anyway, so I guess anything goes, right? All right. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Go check us out at wisemancompany.com. A lot of great gear over there for you guys to pick up, and that's the best way to support us. My name's Ben. We'll see you on the next video.